Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Collum and I am the author and the owner of Top Score Writing. Today's quick video is going to give you an overview of how to access and use all of our digital resources. Now when you first log on, you're going to be brought to your dashboard. You can see here I have 2 courses on my dashboard. Whatever course you purchase will show up on your dashboard. Now for today, I'm going to use 4th grade as my example. Once you click on your course, it's going to open up the main page. Now I will say this. On Canvas, there are a lot of buttons. You're going to see over on the left, announcements, assignments, discussions, grades, people. You don't need to worry about any of that. Everything you need is on this one page. So where it says down here, quizzes, modules, rubrics, just ignore all of that. Even on the right-hand side over here where it talks about importing, choose homepage, ignore everything. Just stay on this main page. This is where we put everything for you. Now, this video that I'm doing right here today is going to be accessible to you all year long, right up here. It's going to be this main video. So if you forget anything or want to refer back at any time, you will have access to this video at any time throughout the entire school year. Underneath the video, you're going to see a bunch of colored bubbles. I want to show you what each of these are, show you how to access them, and what they include. So first, you're going to have your table of contents. This is going to give you the table of contents for the curriculum and the table of contents for the passages. Now, every time you click on a file, it's going to open, and you can always click on the top right-hand side where it says download, and you can save it to your computer or print it out. The table of contents gives you that full overview of all the lesson numbers, the page numbers, what the lesson topics are for the entire curriculum. If you go back to the table of contents, you can also print and look at the passage table of contents. You can see exactly what passages are included underneath each topic, as well as where they are located in the passage books. You have the table of contents, again, for the curriculum and the passages there. Next, you're going to see the pacing guides in the pink bubble. The pacing guides are going to give you the pacing guide for that specific grade level. When you open it, again, you can download it, save it to your computer, or print it out. This is going to lay out a guide for you for the entire school year. So we laid it out by weeks. And so you can see on week 1, the different lesson titles you'll be doing are the pre-test, the expository prompts, and planning. And you can see that that's going to be lessons 1 through 3. If you skip down to week 6, you can see you'll be doing an assessment practice, conferences, revisions, and an assessment practice again. That's lessons 18 through 20. Depending on the week, we try to give you between 3 and 4 lessons to complete each week. Also, depending on your grade level, of course, if you're in a tested grade, we have to move quicker through the curriculum. The lower grade levels, there'll be a slower approach and pacing guide to those lessons to make sure they can master all of those skills. So you can see here, it lays out the entire school year for you as a suggested pacing guide. Okay, if we go back, you're going to see assessment resources. This is one of the most crucial bubbles on this page because these are the resources that are going to help with tracking and knowing the strengths and weaknesses of all of your students. So if you click on assessment resources, we have assessment resources for every genre. Okay, so every section is a different genre. So for instance, section 1 of the curriculum is our non-text-based expository. Section 2 is our text-based expository. Section 3 is text-based argumentative, and Section 4 is narrative. That can also differ depending on your grade level, but just as a general example for you. So every single section/genre has assessment resources. So I'm going to show you, if I open up assessment resources for Section 1, it is first going to give me the rubric. Now, if there is not a state-released rubric, we've made one for you. So as an example, in Florida, in 4th grade, the state has released the best writing rubrics. You're not going to see rubrics in your assessment resources because we want you to use the state one. However, in Section 1, which is non-text-based expository, the state does not have a rubric for that, so we created a rubric. In 3rd grade Florida, there's no state-released writing rubric, so we've created a rubric for you. So depending on your state and your grade level, if there's not a state-released rubric, we've created one for you and we've put it in the assessment resources. So as you can see here in this 4th grade example, this is the rubric we've created. Then there's always going to be a skill tracker. Now this is one of the most important pieces of the entire curriculum. For every genre, you're going to want to print out this skill tracker before you start teaching the lessons. This is going to have skill checks, also known as quizzes, throughout the genre that you will track how your students are doing. So as an example, you'll take the pre-test in lesson 1 and you'll give them a score. This one is in Florida, so it's out of 12. Depending on your state, you'll adjust. And then you can see in lesson 2, there's a skill check on prompts, which is just a mini quiz on prompts. Once they complete that skill check, or as they're completing it, you'll be walking around and you'll be simply putting a P for proficient, an A for approaching, or an N for needs development. I like to do this as I'm walking around, as the students are taking the quiz. Instead of waiting till they're done and then collecting it and grading it later, I give them that P, A, or N as they're doing it. And then you'll see later in lesson 4, there's a skill check on planning. Then later in lesson 7, a skill check on introduction. These are little skill checks / quizzes on these different skills. You just simply fill out P, A's, and N's. And this is going to be your tracking system. You are going to know the strengths and weaknesses of all your students every single day. You're going to know exactly how they're doing. You're going to know what skill groups to pull. You're going to know exactly what skill to work on. You're going to know who needs conferencing. You're going to know what to reteach. If you get done, let's say, with this planning skill check, and out of your 22 students, you have 11 that need development, you know you probably need to do a mini lesson on that the next day. Or if you have 5 that have an N for prompts, and 7 that have an N for planning, and 4 that have an N for introduction, you know you can pull small groups, and those will be your specific groups, and you know exactly what skill to work on. So this is crucial to tracking students, knowing exactly what every student needs, because without a tracking system, we're never going to remember what every student's strengths and weaknesses are. So this is a great way to track it. Again, you will print this for every section. Make sure before you start the section, you go in and print it. Okay, going back to assessment resources. Also in the assessment resources, we have the rubrics, we have the skill trackers, and then we have an informal assessment checklist. Okay, I know it looks like the skill tracker, but they're different. You're tracking those different quizzes. This is the informal assessment checklist. Okay, this is the checklist of everything that is required in an essay, and you're going to put all the student names, and as they're taking a practice session, you're simply going to walk around and put checks or X's. If they have it, you put a check. If they don't, you put an X. By the end of their time writing, you're going to know exactly the strengths and weaknesses of all your students. It's a great way to know exactly where your students are without having to take papers home and scoring them. Technically, you're scoring it as they are writing. Okay? So this is another great tool. And then the last one is our conferencing notes. It's the same concept as the informal assessment checklist, except instead of putting checks and X's, you are making notes. So as you're walking around, if you have a student's name, we'll put Lisa, and let's say you notice she's struggling with planning, you'll put struggling with planning. It's hard to write with this marker, so I'm just going to scribble. Struggling with planning. If this student is Bryson, and you notice that they forgot their hook, you'll put no hook, and you'll walk by every student, 10, 15 times. You'll fill up this whole box with notes, and that again is going to allow you by the end of their time writing to know exactly how they're doing, and then you can conference the next day because you have a whole box of notes. In the end, the score is just for us, so I don't like scoring papers unless it's something that the district requires. I don't need scores, I need feedback. I need to be able to give them feedback the next day. So these tools allow you to score and provide feedback the next day. All right, so that is the assessment resources that are located in that bubble. Additional resources, that's going to give you a link to our mini professional development. If you click on that, you're going to see a bunch of little mini PDs on middle paragraphs, making writing fun, first steps, transitioning paper to pencil, working with low-level writers. These are all little mini PD that you can watch on your own or in a PLC or grade level meeting. It's also going to give you a link to the state pages. We have different state pages. And then link to our paraphrasing task card. This is a page you're going to want to check frequently because we're going to keep updating throughout the year with different resources for you. Also, as part of our digital license, you're going to have access to our professional development all year long. This is our big 3.5-hour curriculum training that we do at schools. The only difference is we went in and recorded it and split it up into sessions and gave you access to it all year long. This is the same thing I would do at a school, in August. It's a 3.5-hour presentation. I just, again, split it up into sessions. You could do a couple things. You could watch the whole thing, the 3.5 hours at one time. You could decide breaking it up throughout the year as you're teaching things. So let's say in November you're going to start argumentative writing. You can watch that argumentative writing before you start it. And let's say in August when you're first starting, you could watch session 1 and 2. That way you're not overwhelming your brain with the whole thing. You can watch it as you're teaching it. Also, if you get a new teacher throughout the year, you could have them watch it if you want to refresh your memory with something. So you have access to our PD the whole year. And here's the note-taking guides that go along with it as well, if you want to have something to fill in to kind of, help with learning it, help with taking notes. That's our professional development. And then the Connect with Us just gives you ways to connect with us throughout the year. Okay, these are all the cool little extra resources we have there. Please access those throughout the year. We put all that to help you with your teaching, make life easier for you. But let me show you where the lessons are, okay? The actual curriculum is down here. You're going to see sections 1 through 5. If you're in 3rd grade, there's 6 sections. You're going to see the bonus lessons and then the grammar. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do section 2 as an example. If I open section 2, it is going to pull up all the lessons that are in section 2. If you see a lesson with a blue square by it, that means that there is a video that goes with that lesson. Not all lessons have videos, only our core lessons have videos, okay? Those videos are myself or someone from my team teaching the lesson, okay? And all you have to do is push play. So let me show you one without a video and then one with a video. So let's click on lesson 29 first. This is on iParagraph. When you open up the lesson, it's going to give you the resources for that lesson. So for lesson 29, you are going to get the teacher lesson plan, you're going to get the student packet, and you're going to get the PowerPoint. Okay, let me show you what each of these are. The teacher lesson plan is the actual lesson plan. If you do not have the print books, my #1 suggestion to be a successful teacher is to print the lesson plan before you teach it. We're never going to memorize it. We're never going to have time to study it. And you're going to want to have it in your hand. I wrote it like that on purpose so you can hold it, read it like a script, or just refer to it throughout the lesson. Okay? The best lessons I ever observe are the ones that have the lesson plan in front of them. So if you know you're going to be teaching lessons 29 through 31 that week, make sure you have 29 through 31 printed and in your hand, okay? It's going to give you the actual lesson plan. I wrote these again. I tell you exactly what to say, what to do, what to write on the board, what to hand out. I give you the examples. Everything is in that lesson plan. So you're going to get the lesson plan, and then with the lesson plan, you're going to get any activities that go with it. Okay, so you can see here, this is the classwork activity. You have that one. You can see here, this is the skill check, which is like the little quiz. Okay, so everything included in that lesson is right behind it. Now, you can see this lesson, because this is text-based, includes passages. It's going to tell you in the beginning of the lesson, there's going to be a box. If there are passages used in that lesson, it's going to say, the following passages will be used in this lesson. It's going to tell you exactly what passages are used. When you scroll to the bottom of that lesson, it has those passages there for you. Okay, they're already included in that lesson plan packet. You can see halfway through this lesson, we use alligators at first. If I keep going, we're going to use climates. If I keep going to the classwork, we're going to use magnets. And if I keep going, I'm going to see giant panda. All of these passages are included in this lesson plan. You just keep scrolling, it's all there for you. Climates, magnets, and then the panda. Okay, so the teacher packet gives you everything for that entire lesson. The lesson plan, the student activities, and the passages. Okay, it's like the whole thing. Now, let's say you're getting ready to teach lesson 29 tomorrow, and you want the student pages because you want to make copies for your students. Instead of pulling up the teacher lesson plan and having to pull out the student pages, we already did that for you. So if you just want the student pages to be able to make copies, just click on Student Packet. It's going to have just the student pages, whatever the students need. So you can see the classwork, the skill check, and then all the passages that they need. So if you know you're going to teach lesson 29 and you want all the pages the students need, you can just simply click on Student Packet. And then the third thing, so here we went through teacher lesson plan, we looked at teach student packet, and the third thing is the PowerPoint. Every lesson plan has been turned into a PowerPoint, okay, a colorful, engaging PowerPoint. It's the same exact lesson, word for word, that's in the lesson plan. We just turned it into a PowerPoint. Okay, so you can see here the PowerPoint. Okay, so that is a lesson that does not have a video. Let's click on one that has a video. See lesson 30 here? I'm going to click on lesson 30. Okay. The only difference is when I open lesson 30, look here, I have the lesson plan that I just went over. I have the student packet, and I have the PowerPoint, the same three things. The only additional thing I have is this video. This video right here is the teacher-led video that goes with this lesson. You push play.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's writing lesson. My name is Mrs. Jones, and today
you can make it full screen as well.
Number 30. And I'm going to mark it up a little bit. Do you find it? All right, alligators. There it is. Now, how do I know that that's the central idea?
Now, these teacher-led video lessons are the exact same lesson plan in the book, the exact same lesson plan that you have here. Okay. It's just turned into a video of myself or someone from my team teaching it, just like we would do if we were in the front of your classroom. All you have to do is push play. Now, the idea is not for the teacher to push play and go take a break. The idea is for the teacher to push play, and then the teacher now gets to be out at the student desk with them, helping them in real time. So as this is playing, you can be checking their paper, looking up, reminding them of things, telling them to add this, checking it. We never get to do that as teachers. We're always up at the front. We don't get to see the issues until later once we've collected the work. With these teacher-led lessons, you can push play and actually in real time help the students, and it's like having a team teacher there. Okay, so that's the beauty of these teacher-led lessons. So again, if you go to a lesson that does not have a teacher-led video, you're going to have these three resources here. You're going to have the teacher lesson plan, the student packet, and the PowerPoint. Okay? If you click on one that has a video, you're going to have those three things, plus you're going to have this video here. Okay? And if you click on this right here, it'll make it full screen for you. Okay? So those are the resources that come with every single lesson. Okay? Let's go back out. So section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, every time you click on a section, again, all the lessons for that section are going to come up. Over here, there's the bonus lessons. We added some bonus lessons. Those are there as well. And then the grammar is available for 2nd through 5th grade. So if you're middle or high school, you're not going to see this here. But for 2nd through 5th grade, when you click on grammar, first you're going to want to watch this video. Okay, this video explains the grammar and how to use it. Then you're going to see the table of contents for the grammar. Okay, you're going to see the grammar here. Here's a printable copy. Some people like to print the whole grammar out, put it underneath the document camera every day. And then there's the answer key, because of course we have the answer key because, you know, grammar is not specialty for everyone, including myself, so I like the answer key. So I'll show you the difference real quick. The table of contents is going to show you all the different topics and the page number. If you want to just pull it up every day and show, because the grammar is like a 5-minute bell ringer. So let's say you just want to show it up on your smartboard every day. Simply click on this PDF. You can download it, save it to your computer, and you're just simply going to scroll to the day and show the little card. Okay, so if you're on day 1, you just put this up on your smartboard. Okay, if you want to print the whole thing and just be able to show it into document camera, again, you're going to go to this printable version here, the printable copy, and then again the answer key. Okay, so those are all of the resources. So again, this is your main page. I'm going to go back real quick just to show you. When you are at your dashboard, you click on your course and it pulls this main page. You don't need to click on anything else, okay? Ignore all of this, okay? Ignore all of this. Just stay on this page. And again, you're going to have this video here, and then you're just clicking on the colored bubbles. So these are all the extra resources and things to help you, and this sections 1 through 5 and bonus are your lessons, and then this is your grammar. Okay? All right, so we are here to help my team and I the entire year. Please feel free to reach out if any of this is confusing, you're having trouble accessing anything, downloading anything. We want to make sure that you have the tools and resources to make sure that you're successful, which will then make sure your students are successful. So please reach out if you need anything, and have a wonderful day.